This video help will be on the billing report by ID and name. What this particular report does, it shows the two records that are currently sample records with information in them. What it does is it organizes the individual client's purchases by their name and ID number. This is a searchable report. You can use the find mode to find the individual client and all the purchases for that client if you wanted to print a report. It would also show you the subtotal and line total of any purchases that were made by that particular client. Then it would show you a grand summary at the bottom of the report or at the end of it for all the items that are in that report. So for example, if you want to do a date time period where it's a date range, the date range is where you take the date field and you do a small little formula that will allow you to find any of the date ranges in that information. This will be covered in the invoice as well because it's used there also. But let me just show you in a demonstration how that works. We have, for example, a set of records here where there are the 423 and then one on 426. If you wanted to find just everything for the 423, you would not modify the date. All you would do is go into find mode and put in the 423. But if you wanted to find all records for that period of April or the whole month of April for everybody or an individual, you would do it this way. What you would basically do is you would include the name of the individual that you want in the report, or you would not put a name in and just use the date range to find all sales in that report so that you get a summary of sales by whatever time period you want to look at. This could be a day, a week, a month, a quarter, a year, or you can actually use the search by the field type. In this particular case, if you wanted to look up a particular piece of equipment and how many times it's been sold and who it was sold to, it would bring that information up in this report. So this is a very powerful report for looking for information. You can even do something that is kind of unique. If you wanted to look for items that sold for a certain amount, over a certain amount, for example, you could find every item that was over $50 that was sold. And the way you would do that is you would use a greater than and equal, and then just put in the amount that you want it to be greater than or equal to in this screen. So let's show in a demonstration what the greater than and less than and equal to look like. So I'm going to go into the find mode, and what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to put in the date. Now you have two ways you can do this. You can click on it and pick a specific date, or you can type in the formula for the date range. And what I'm going to do is type in the formula. You click one more time, and then you type in greater than or equal to, and I'm going to do 4/10/2013, and then less than or equal to 4/26/2013. Now what that is a simple formula of greater than or less than, so it's greater than this date and less than this date. Now if I wanted to put in a name and pick that name, I'm going to use Ben Franklin because all I want to do is just show his information. So I'm going to use Ben Franklin again, and now I've got the information in the search. So let's say perform the find, and you'll see that I've got all of Ben Franklin's information for him and the one date that was out of sync from the others, which is the 26th. Now let's just really quickly, let's do the 426. If I do the 426 and say perform the find, you'll see that it brings up the one record. One more time, let's do something by a item type, and let's go look and see if there's a hedge trimmer that was sold and say perform the find. Now I get a non-match, and what that means is that the hedge trimmers were not a part of the records that were in there. So I would say modify that and pick something else. In this particular case, let's take the lawnmower and say perform the find. And then you see the perform find is brought up the lawnmower. Now this is doing this within Ben Franklin's records with the current records in selection, and then it shows the information. Now if I wanted to see all the information, including the header, click the run report, and you'll see that it adds the top level of the report plus the summaries at the bottom. That's an important part of running these individual screens that are reports, is to run the actual report by the button to provide all the information. So I have a sub-summary and a full summary at the bottom for the grand summary of the report. If you have any questions about using this, make sure that you get in touch with me. I want to point one more thing rather, is if you want to show all the records again, make sure that you click the Show All Records button to return all the records. Then you can run the report to resort it again. Thank you for taking this video.